Hello and welcome to another trial video. My name is John. You probably know that. This is what's supposed to be my studio with good studio lighting and a cheap digital camera. And I'm thinking of ways to improve my technical quality. For instance, I've got a tape-based digital video recorder, and just maybe if I hook that up to the computer, I could also use a microphone and get a little bit better view of my situation. Here right now I'm on a pretty tight shot, and yet well, I'm not happy with the optics on this camera, basically. So what am I going to talk about? Well, today, because this is basically just a test, and I'm working on building the set and the concept of whatever I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the set, and maybe at the end I'll talk about the some of the concepts. But right now, as you can see, I've got an American flag behind me, which is good for the living room, but it doesn't show up very well on the camera. It's too big. It's just a few red and white stripes. So I'm working on building a set. I'm going to hang a flat sheet and put some colored light bulbs to hang up, to shine down on the flat sheet, and hopefully get a Johnny Carson monologue type look. You know, some of you will remember that, and some of you will have to look it up on YouTube. But anyway, to get that to work, I've got light bulbs. There's yellow, I've got 2 of them, and blue, and red, and green. And what I figure is that these light bulbs will shine down on the pleats of the curtain, the backdrop, the flat sheet pleated, and that will create a nice back glow. And if anything, I have too much lighting in the studio because I've got probably 5,000 lumens. Well, maybe not. Actually, the one is 3,000, and I don't know. So plenty of light. Maybe that'll make up for a cheap camera, huh? Okay, here's the flat sheet I picked up, $10, and the light sockets that I'm going to rig up. Your basic cheap light socket. Going to screw these onto a board, and then I'm going to wire them up. Then in front of it, I'm going to put a board across to make sure that the light shines down on the cloth and not out into the room, because going out into the room, it might play games with the camera. Okay, I came up with these as well. These are wood clip rings, so the rings will slide back and forth on a dowel rod or a tension rod or a curtain rod. I picked up a pair of curtain rods to try. Then these brass clips will grab the curtain, and somehow or another I'm going to make it work. I was thinking about just stapling the sheet on, and I decided, you know what, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because, you know, then it will work, but when I don't need the studio look, then it's hard to move, and it'd hide my flag permanently. Okay, I came up with several ideas to hide the colored lights, and pretty much what I came up with was this sheet metal roll for about $10. You're going to nail that onto a board, a couple inches in front of the studio lights, the colored lights, the curtain lights, and I think that will work out pretty fine. So that's where I'm at with that project. Got the stuff. Have to do a little bit of thinking and to how to actually put it together, but I can do that. What else? Well, today, some of you people may have noticed I was on Monday, whatever day this video comes out. I was talking about how to clean and re-lube a couple of small electric motors that drive fans, and I don't want to be throwing these things away. One is a fairly expensive Living Air brand ionizing variable speed air filter purifier gadget, and what's happening is that the bearings seem to be full of dirt, and they start running dry of oil, and the bearings start squealing, so I have to shut it off. And then because of the gunk in there, when you turn it on, it takes a couple minutes to actually start running at speed. So one person told me to use carburetor cleaner fluid, and I was going to buy that, but I forgot that. But what I did buy was this. This is by Eureka Chemical Company, and it's called Fluid Film. And thank you, Charlie, for telling me about this. Powerful rust and corrosion protection, penetrant and lubricant, protects all metals, lanolin-based, superior lubricant, no solvents, long-lasting. So I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. And in other good news today, I picked up a computer that I ordered at Staples. It's a refurbished. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive with Windows 7, 8 gig of RAM, and it's a full-size tower. So it's going to run a lot better than my antique Windows XP Dell Dimension 3000, which has only 2 gig of RAM and only 500 gig of hard drive. And so while I was in Staples, I was looking at a couple of options to increase my hard drive capacity. So I like to have the hard drive set up so that Windows is on one part of it, the programs and data are on another, and actually a second hard drive to back up the data inside the machine. So a Seagate 1 terabyte hard drive, which should be the same size as the hard drive built in, is $60. A 3 terabyte hard drive, which would be triple the space, allow me to store lots of audio and video files and photograph files as I'm working on things, and documents and whatever else. Lots of stuff can go on there. Videos take up a lot of space. So a 3 terabyte Seagate is $104, and that's the price will vary, of course, but that's a start. And while we were talking, I said, what about solid state drives? And he said that's a good idea. Some people, power users, put a solid state hard drive and put Windows or their operating system on that. And there's two things to think about there. One is solid state hard drives are very fast, so the computer will start up much faster, 10 to 1,000 times faster, who knows. But anyway, you'll get your system up and running much faster because it's not reading off of moving parts. The second thing is solid state hard drive is really good for long-term storage, but unfortunately, with lots of use, it can wear out. It wears out at a faster rate than mechanical hard drives. So you put Windows on a solid state drive. Windows doesn't update files very often. It mostly just reads the information that's there, and reading doesn't wear it out. It's writing new data that wears out those solid state hard drives. So a solid state hard drive that would run Windows, the operating system. This is a 240 gig hard drive, and it runs about $75. So I think that would be a pretty good bargain. Lots of performance enhancements, and be a pretty stable machine. So, what am I going to talk about? That is something I guess you guys can help me figure out. One thing is I'm diagnosed as a high-functioning Asperger that falls on the autism spectrum. Anybody who knows me personally knows that generally I do just well in life, and that's what a lot of people know about me. Oh, he's a great guy, but he's a little quirky. So Asperger's helps explain what the quirkiness is about. And one thing I'd like to do over time is delve into Asperger's and the autism spectrum, and also other mental health issues, ranging from depression and various forms of psychosis, bipolar, schizophrenia, things like that. I deal with some of that in my work, and the more I learn about it, the better I'll do at my job. Also, I'd like to talk about health issues in general. I'm diabetic, and I struggle to eat right and to stay, properly fit and trim, and so diabetes is a pretty important subject. Also important to me are politics and religion. Many of you know that I'm pretty conservative, but I try and be at least fair-minded about my politics. Oh, I have a strong opinion, but I like to hear what you think, and I like to hear you explain what you think, so we can have a discussion and benefit from each other's point of views. Maybe there's something about social justice that I haven't considered before. Maybe there's something about fiscal conservatism that you haven't thought about before. Any number of things like that. And of course my religion. That's pretty important to me. That's vitally important to me. And I'd like to share some of my faith and some of my understanding of Scripture, and see where we go with things. Again, it's not necessarily this isn't going to be a preaching podcast. There's plenty of those. It won't be a political or a medical or a financial or mental health or whatever educational forum, but there is going to be some of that. I don't even know how often we're going to try and do this. I would say for now, once a month. I think that will work out pretty good. And the time length, probably 10-15 minutes, and I'm getting close to 15 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Once again, my name is John. This is my video blog, and feel free to comment, and you can send me personal messages, you can send me email, but I don't read my email very much anymore. Let me know what you think. What should I talk about? What do you think are my strong areas that you'd really like me to expound on? Also, do you have any ideas for the name of this blog? I was on my way home from Lowe's and Walmart. I was thinking about Asperger's and something about the Asby frontier. Living on the frontier with Asperger's. Sort of my life is a journey, an odyssey. Live on the edge of things, you might say. Sort of a frontier. It's a wild adventure. So come on, enjoy the ride, and give me some ideas for title. Alright, that's it. Thank you very much. and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.